Cahirlock, and thank you, Minister, for coming here to the Seanad today. Earlier this year, this Seanad passed a motion calling on the government to provide free hormone replacement therapy for women. And my commencement this morning is asking for the Minister for Health to make a statement on the process that will be required to extend the free female contraception scheme to include HRT. Minister Donnelly and government and yourself included have to be commended and must be commended for, I suppose, the priority that they have given to women's health. It is an unprecedented support for women's health that this government has given, and the publication of the first Women's Health Action Plan in 2022 included the ring fencing of more than 48 million in funding for women's health, and that's really welcome. It includes free contraception, endometriosis clinics, IVF treatment, the menopause clinics, and many more actions as well. So I do at the outset want to recognise that, because it is unprecedented, and I suppose the introduction of free contraception for young women has been incredibly empowering. It gives them the opportunity to manage their health care, and it removes for them the barrier which is real for a lot of women of cost. I suppose the experience of menopause is challenging for women, and it is a transformative period in a woman's life. It represents a very significant change in the reproductive system, but it also brings with it an awful lot of symptoms, and it's everything from hot flashes to weight gain to hair loss to anxiety, depression. The list goes on and on and on. Sight loss, arthritis, diabetes, imagine living with any one of those symptoms. But for many women, it can be many of those symptoms. And many of those symptoms are absolutely invisible to everybody else except the woman who is experiencing them. Their partners, their children, their work colleagues, their bosses, their employers. It's invisible. And so a lot of women actually disappear into those symptoms themselves. They actually disappear from society. They disappear from their workplace. They disappear from their families. For many, though, HRT is a solution. It's not a panacea, but it helps an awful lot of women. And it's free to women who have a medical card, and that's right, and that's as it should be. But for some women, the cost of 30 to 70 euros a month for the HRT, the cost of a GP visit, which can be 60, 70, 80 euros, or the cost of having to go to a consultant, which could be hundreds of euros for one consultation, is actually a real barrier for those women to access what for them would be an effective and essential healthcare treatment. It can be a preventative treatment. Not only can it help them deal with the symptoms in the immediate, it can prevent them from finding themselves in a crisis medical condition down the road. So, Minister, my commencement is looking for an update, acknowledging absolutely the unprecedented commitment of this government to women's healthcare. But I suppose reminding the government that in their Health Action Plan, they did state that they promised to grow the available women's health supports, services and expertise in contraception, menopause and gynecology, and to changing the approach to menopause care to increase the public supports available to women before, during and after menopause. And Minister, I believe this government has done incredible work already to support women's health. I believe this government can do a lot more. I really hope, Minister, that when you are responding today, you will be able to outline what process can be followed by this government and that this House can support to extend free HRT through the free contraception scheme. Gormagad.
Thank you very much, Senator Fitzpatrick. And just before I call the Minister, I'd like to welcome some very special guests that are here in the public gallery today. The Bohermeen Active Retirement Group. They're here with Senator Castles, and I hope you have a very interesting and informative day here in Leinster House. You're very welcome, and I just hope you have a wonderful day. Minister.
Chair, and I want to thank Senator Fitzpatrick for this opportunity to speak to the House today on the important topic of HRT provisions for women in menopause. The Department of Health and Minister Donnelly are committed to improving women's health. Since the establishment of the Women's Health Task Force in 2019, they have listed They have listened to what women want from the health service and have taken a number of positive steps to improve women's experiences and health outcomes. This includes the free contraception scheme, which is currently available to women aged between 17 and 30. This involved an allocation of €31.5 million in 2023. The scheme covers the costs of consultations and, where appropriate, fittings, checks and removals of contraceptive devices. This is provided by GPs at family planning, student health and primary care centres. It also covers the costs of prescriptions for the wide range of contraceptive options available through the HSC reimbursement list. Budget 2024 provided €1.3 million in the new development funding to expand the scheme to include 31-year-olds from next year. Hormone replacement therapy is a very different treatment and thus cannot be included in the contraception scheme. There are currently no plans at present to expand this particular scheme to include HRT. Furthermore, this scheme is not open to women over the age of 40 who may be deemed clinically suitable for HRT. Any decision by government to provide free HRT to some cohorts of women would require separate, albeit analogous, primary legislation to give effect. To assist those women who choose to take HRT, the HSC currently operates two schemes which offer financial assistance to people in receipt of prescribed HRT medication, which are on the reimbursement list. These HRT medications are available to medical card holders subject to the statutory prescription charge. Eligibility for a medical card under the GMS scheme is determined by the HSC in accordance with the Health Act. However, in certain circumstances, the HSC may exercise discretion and grant a medical card even though an applicant exceeds the income guidelines where he or she faces difficult financial circumstances, such as extra costs arising from illness. Secondly, under the drug payment scheme, no individual or family pays more than €80 a month towards the cost of approved prescribed medicines, which includes some HRT medications. In Budget 2023, VAT was removed from HRT treatment to assist women further with the costs associated with it. Menopause, of course, can present differently for individual women, both in symptom, severity and duration. Not all women experiencing menopause may be clinically eligible for HRT, which is prescription-based. Women may also choose not to take HRT but to address their symptoms through alternative therapies and/or lifestyle changes. It is important that women and healthcare providers are educated on the use of HRT and other options and that together they explore all the available options open to them. My thanks again to Senator Fitzpatrick for raising this issue and for providing me with the opportunity to speak to you today on this important area of women's health.
Thanks very much, Minister. Senator Fitzpatrick.
Thanks, Minister, for your reply and the reply from Government and the Minister for Health. And it is welcome and it does at least outline what the clear path would be and the requirement for primary legislation. And we will pursue that, I suppose, with the Minister. I think it's important to note, and I had noted it, that the HRT is freely available on the medical card, and that is welcome. But not every woman has a medical card, and I don't think every woman should have to beg for a medical card to get HRT. And I don't think it is easy always to actually diagnose that what the woman is going through is menopause, because there are so many symptoms, and women are spent on, wild goose chases. Trying to identify and diagnose what exactly is wrong with them. It doesn't work for every woman, but there's a significant barrier for all women who don't have a medical card, and that is one of cost. So I believe it is an issue of equity for all women. I don't think women should be kept at this disadvantage, and I think there would be a significant advantage, and it would be a significant investment in women's health, not just the individual woman's health, but in women's ability to participate fully in society, in their families, in their communities, in their workplaces, if that barrier of cost was to be removed, and I will pursue it with the Minister and the Government. Gormagat.
Senator, Minister.
Senator, for your contribution. There has been considerable progress made in menopause care, both primary and specialist care level. 6 specialist menopause clinics are now open for women who have complex experiences of menopause. A quick reference guide for menopause launched to support GPs and practice nurses in diagnostics and treatment at the primary care level. A national menopause awareness campaign was launched in October 2022. This was a direct response to the demand from Irish women for greater knowledge and understanding of menopause, as well as better access to accurate information and supports. And the campaign was relaunched earlier this year in March. It was accompanied by a dedicated webpage to provide trusted information on menopause, and more recently, the Menopause in the Workplace Policy Framework was launched. This framework was developed to guide civil service organisations and their agencies in identifying ways to support employees experiencing menopause. Menopause is just one of the many important areas of focus since the publication of the Women's Health Action Plan. The Department of Health, along with the Women's Health Task Force, remains committed to continue to drive progress in women's health in order to achieve better health outcomes and experiences for all women and girls in Ireland. Thank you.